Sabah, home to Mount Kinabalu, the tallest mountain in Malaysia. In Karasan Dusun, Sabah means the land below the wind. A fitting name, as Sabah reflects a clash between development and indigenous culture preservation. From 27 June to 2nd July, 10 students and 4 staff members from the School of Arts and Social Sciences of Monash University Malaysia flew to Sabah for a 6-day study trip to learn more about the land, its people, and the contemporary issues they face. We landed in Kota Kinabalu, the capital of Sabah, in the early hours of a Tuesday. We were picked up at the airport and then checked in at Masala Backpackers. After picking our bunks, unpacking and having lunch, we set off for the Independence Square.
Wash your own dishes, go back there, go sit nicely.
Do our own dishes, yeah.
What we are doing now is that we just had lunch and we are just here chilling around and gathering. This bunch of people, they are doing ice breaking, and now we are about to go for the heritage walk for 3 hours. Yay! And those are
The arrival of Grace, a local tour guide, marked the start of the first session, the KK Heritage Walk. Kota Kinabalu used to be called JESSELTON during the British colonial era. The KK Heritage Walk winds around what used to be JESSELTON, before expanding into the city today. It passed by historical buildings and neighbourhoods including the Atkinson Tower, the Jesselton Hotel, Gaya Street, Australia Place, and the North Borneo War Memorial. We then stopped at YUONG coffee shop for a tea break, where Grace demonstrated how Sabah is more multicultural than Peninsular Malaysia.
This is the only shop now in the city centre. You will find that you don't see it in Kiau. You know why I say that? Mixture of culture. Chinese shop, Muslim food, Chinese food. We don't have a foreign.
Having completed the tour, we returned to the hostel to freshen up. The last agenda for the day, dinner. Sabah is renowned for its seafood, so we headed to Jalan Tun Fuad Stephens for the seafood night market.
Over there you can buy all your salted fish and all that. It's quite a popular place. A bit expensive, but you can buy it there. For those of you who want to buy salted fish, which are basically fish that are salted.
Needless to say, dinner was excellent. We went back to Masala Backpackers after dinner and wound down for the next day. Our day 2 itinerary was packed. First, we went to the PACOS Trust, which is the Partners of Community Organizations. PACOS is an indigenous right advocacy NGO in Penampang. The organization provides preschool education for parents who want their kids to learn in Dusun. After a tour in the PACOS Community Learning Center, we had a session with Puan and Lasimbang and a few members of her team.
We also comprises one of the highest poverty in Malaysia. We have 40% of the poor is in Sabah. And most of them are in the rural area, indigenous people of Sabah out of the 30 ethnic group. We have 3 main missions. We want to ensure whatever it is, even though we have lost a lot of our traditional land, we want to also have legal rights over the land. We want to strengthen our indigenous knowledge. That's why we have the community learning center, trying to revive the mother tongue and the
After the session, we went on a tour in the Kivatu Nature Farm that is managed by PACOS. The farm provides workshops on sustainable and organic farming.
This is our handmade insect repellent.
Wow!
So it's made from lemongrass. So you can use, because there's a lot of mosquitoes.
So for collecting the honey, so you just poke this open and collect the honey.
How is it?
Sour. But good.
Hi guys, this is start eating grass.
Natural sleeping pills. Do you feel sleepy yet?
Well, damn sleepy man now.
I think so.
What is pineapple and
Nanas.
ananas?
Ananas.
Hey,
It's Nana and Nana.
it's ananas in Creole.
Creole is Nanas as well.
Creole?
Nanas.
After having lunch in PACOS, we continued our journey to the Kipuovo village. On the way, we stopped by at Sungai Moyok to witness a polluted tagal system. The tagal system is used by the natives to preserve their rivers from pollution. Nasiri explains a little bit on the tagal system.
A lot of people confuse that actually when they are translated in English but call it protect.
Sungai Moyok used to be a tourist attraction, but now it is completely destroyed by hill cutting and palm oil plantations. We also visit the Sungai Kibunut, another river that utilizes the Tagal system. The river was clean, and we also got to feed the fish by hand.
So can you demonstrate how do you feed a fish?
You just put your hand in and your thumb.
Open your fingers.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Due to the rain, we had to cancel our visit to a medicinal farm and walk about in Kipuovo village. But we did stop by at a small community learning center in Kipuovo village. We met HILDA PIUS, another PACOS employee who is the wife of one of our guides, Andrew.
Sama dengan PACOS 10 tahun sudah. Saya di bahagian accounts lah. Guru itu kami ambil bukan berlandaskan status pendidikan mereka. Sebab apa yang kami percaya, guru yang paling utama adalah berasal dari satu keluarga. Bagaimana dia membentuk anak-anak dia, bagaimana dia mengasuh anaknya dari rumah, itulah guru yang kami ambil.
At night, we slept in the Kampung Kipuovo homestay. After a quick stop at the local sundry shop, we retired to have dinner and finished up our writings.
On day 3, we went higher up to the mountains of Kampung Kiau. It is the home of Cynthia, one of our guides. It was a long drive from Kampung Kipuovo before we stopped by at Ranau for lunch. Ranau is the closest town to Mount Kinabalu. The crew got to explore the streets of Ranau before heading to the next destination.
So we reached Ranau about maybe 30 minutes ago, and well, from what we can see so far, Ranau is basically just a very small town. It has the basic infrastructures.
After lunch, we visited the Kundasang War Memorial.
We're in a garden that was erected to commemorate the lives of the Australian and British soldiers that were lost, especially at the Sandakan death camps and the Sandakan death marches.
We also had a chance to meet Mr. CV, who is the man who restored and takes care of the War Memorial. The crew learned a lot about the Sandakan Death March. Another drive from the Kundasang War Memorial, we finally arrived in Kinabalu Park.
Hi everyone, so we are now at the foot of Mount Kinabalu. We are actually at the entrance of where hikers would start their trail. It will take usually 4 hours up and 4 hours down Mount Kinabalu. But for the elite men and elite women who got first place last year, they only took less than 3 hours to complete the whole journey.
At the foot of Mount Kinabalu, we bonded with our guides and snapped some beautiful pictures of the scenery. Some travelers were sending messages home just in case they lost phone signals at night.
Doing what?
Oh, I'm just telling my wife where we are now and where we're gonna stay for the night, in case I lose reception later.
Hi, Dr. Tan.
Hey, hi.
Doing what? What are you doing?
I am sending a message. Like just where I am sending a message home.
Okay.
In case the reception gets knocked out again.
We managed to interview 2 men about their experience climbing up Mount Kinabalu.
Antin, loved how clean it was as well. It was like, do you know what I mean? You guys have looked after the place amazingly. So.
Yeah, the infrastructure, I never seen around the world such an infrastructure like here. So you, you know, You get your passes and then everything is free. You don't have to really pay extra. Sleeping bags are there, the jackets are there. You don't have to bring anything with you.
Yeah, it's very well organised. So.
At night, we stayed at a dorm next to a church in Kampung Kiau. Though we had to sleep in before 10, we stayed up writing stories and looking at the stars instead. On day 4, we met with 7 mountain guides who were the first people to respond to the 2015 Sabah earthquake. These heroes of the earthquake shared their stories and experiences of the incident. Alexander explained a story of his friend's death during the incident.
Mendiang Ruby ini dia bawa satu pelancong. So masa kejadian itu berlaku, kalau dia tidak berbuat sesuatu dengan pelancong dia, mungkin dia akan selamat, tapi pelancong dia akan korban. So dia sedar yang ada batu jatuh, dia tulak tuh pelancong dia di sebelah, terus dia yang kena waktu. Saya rasa memang dia punya dia betul-betul ada perasaan untuk menjaga pendaki dia sampai dia sendiri pun support us.
After the session, the crew went for a walkabout in Kampung Kiau. The hike was definitely not as hard as the hike up to Mount Kinabalu.
Hi guys, today we're doing a walkabout in Kampung Kiau. We're following our guides and they're just taking us around the village just to see around the area. That's it mostly. It looks really scary because there's a lot of climbing to do, and we just started like 5 minutes ago and I feel like I'm getting out of breath, which is really bad news for my stamina.
Cynthia explained on the background of Kampung Kiau.
Kampung Kiau ini memang betul-betul terletak di kaki Gunung Kinabalu. Lebih kurang ketinggian dia dari peras laut 1.600 kaki dari peras laut. Jadi semua penduduk kampung di sini majority dusun Tindal.
Alright, what you see is the bok payang, and this was actually used before they had ice box to actually keep meat from rotting. So what they do is that they'll take the food, they'll empty out the flesh, and then they'll put the meat inside of it, and then in this way the flesh will be protected from from rotting away and whatnot. So there you go.
After the session, we went to the annual Harvest Festival in Kampung Kiau.
And we're in Kampung Kiau. So today we're gonna go head to the Pesta Kamata, which is the Harvest Festival. So
so we are at Pesta Kamatan, or a Harvest Festival. It's called Kokotuan in their dialect of Dusun, I assume. So we're still at Kampung Kiau, and we just saw a dance performance by some, I think it's some children, some young people, and now people are lining up to get food.
Now we are in the Kamatan at Kampung Kiau. Yeah, I'm very happy see that event because most of the performance is young, so that's make it the traditional knowledge. Yeah, costume is a transfer to young people.
Some of us split off to visit the pineapple jam factory.
So this is the village where they receive the raw pineapple juice.
Ini penyimpanan produk.
Okay, this is where they store the product.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kena bentuk juga.
Ya. Ini penyimpanan barang lah.
Equipment.
We also learned about the traditional costumes of the Dusun people.
Baju ni dari suku kaum Gundulewan, dari suku kaum ni dari penduduk Ranau, kawasan Ranau dengan Tambunan.
We also got to witness the rice wine making competition.
Ini dinamakan tajau. Tajau. Di dalam dia ada tapai yang diperbuat daripada nasi. Mau pilih yang terbaik lah, yang terbaik dia punya rasa yang terbaik. Ada pahit dia dan ada manis, dia mix lah, sweet and bitter.
After that, we talked to the lady who cooked some dishes for the event.
Dalam festival ini memang saya selalu kena panggil untuk memasak untuk orang kampung, dan dibantu dengan kawan-kawan saya yang sudah ada di sini sekarang. Dan juga selalunya kalau macam ada pelancong-pelancong daripada Gempita yang datang di sini, memang saya lah selalu kena jemput pergi memasak.
The Harvest Festival was a fruitful experience for us, and we left the event at about 2 p.m. At night, we were back in Kota Kinabalu and slept in for the next day.
On this day, the team was assigned to complete their soft stories and upload it to the blog. A lot of the student travellers stayed in Masada Backpackers to complete their work. 2 travellers, however, decided to make better use of their time.
Outside Masada Backpackers, we see a wild monitor lizard in its natural habitat, right inside this longkang, and it's been basking under the sun, and it looks a bit tired. So let's see how he feels about being in Sabah. Dear lizard, how are you feeling today? Oh, looks like he's a shy one.
During our free time, some travellers went to visit the iconic waterfront and some travellers explored the town further. At night, we had a thank you dinner at Chili Vanilla restaurant. This was to show gratitude to all the hosts during the trip and present some awards to the travellers.
It's now 6:33. Some of us are gathered in front of the Masada Backpackers Inn. Some of us are getting ready, and we're all going to head off shortly
for one of the highlights of the trip, which is
Hi, I just really want to say thank you to everyone who helped firstly. The people who took us along, they weren't just guys, they were teachers to us. Tell us stories, sometimes repeatedly. We learn so much just by being with them. This is my 4th study trip, first time as a Pathfinder, and I have to say that including the trips that I've been on, this has actually been the most well-behaved, most cooperative travelers ever. Of course, they still have 24 hours to change my mind.
The second category is Best Traveler, and the winner is Hamza. The third category is for the traveler you turn to when you're sad, and the winner is
After the night out, we all said farewell to our hosts and new friends.
Today is day 6. It's our last day here. We're going to be traveling home in a couple of hours, but we still do have some time. So everyone is busy packing up. I'm about to go to the market for a short while and have my last lunch in town before coming back to make sure everything's okay, and off we go. It's been a good trip, really tired, but yeah, see you around.
For our last day in Sabah, we were free to explore the city. Some crew members went to the Sunday morning market along Gaya Street.
And we are now at the Sunday market on Gaya Street in Kota Kinabalu. As you can see, there's a lot of activity going on. People selling everything from food, snacks. Apparently there's a lot of batik from the Philippines. And
after that, some of them decided to visit the ethnic craft market, and some of them climbed up the Signal Hill Observatory Tower. However, when the boys got together, they tried eating live sago worms.
Oh my god, so hard to carry.
I'm ready to not do it.
Oh, pull it. Pull in, Norman. Rip it. Oh. It's still moving. Can you feed me? Yeah, I'm serious. Okay. Is it live? Close your eyes, close your eyes. This is terrible.
The grub eating experience had given the travellers a better insight on Sabah's indigenous culture. It was a normal practice for the natives to consume grubs. In the evening, we all had to return to Masada Backpackers as our flight was at 7 p.m. We arrived in KLIA2 about 10 p.m. and it was the end of our study trip. During the 6 days, 5-night study trip, we had bonded as a team and fell in love with Sabah. We had learned a lot, but also we know that there's so much more to learn. Nevertheless, the trip was filled with blood, sweat, and tears, and goodbye was the hardest thing to say.